Hello there. You are welcome to session 5 of our core ICT tutorial. Our topic for this session is computer viruses. Computer viruses. What happens when you are sick? Let's say you are there and then everything is okay, then you fall sick. What might have caused the sickness to occur to you? Probably something might have happened, or you should have done something to necessitate or cause yourself that kind of sickness. And if you do not deal with the sickness, what will happen to you? What happens to you if you don't deal with it? Is there any way we can do to is there any means by which we can prevent sickness from coming to us? Well, apart from you going sick, do you also know that our computers too, and for that matter, other ICT tools, but let me limit it to computers, of course. Do you know that computers also go sick? However, even though computers do go sick, the kind of sickness of computers is caused by only viruses. In the case of human beings, you have viruses, you have bacteria, you have fungi, and all those other ones, pathogens causing sickness. But those are related to human beings and animals and probably some plants and so on. But for computers, their sickness is only caused by what we refer to as viruses, so we can say computer viruses. Yet the kind of viruses that affect computers are not the same as those that affect living creatures. In our lesson for today, the aim is to help you understand what computer viruses are. We would also learn what causes computers to be infected by viruses. We would also learn what are the signs to see that a computer has been infected by a virus. So what symptoms would indicate for you to notice that my computer has been infected by a virus. We will also consider those ones. Then we also learn how to prevent computer viruses from coming into our computers. If they do come, how do we disinfect or clear them from our computers? So that is our objectives for this lesson. Let us define what computer viruses are. One definition is, it is a self-replicating software intentionally developed by a programmer to cause harm to the computer or disturb its use. It is a self-replicating software intentionally developed by a programmer to cause harm to the computer or disturb its use. What it is saying here in this definition is, first of all, a computer virus has the ability to duplicate itself. Replicate means duplicate. So it replicates itself, can multiply itself, and then infect various parts of your system. So if, let's say, if it is meant to affect various sectors of your hard disk, so it will first enter your computer, then find its way into a first sector, then multiply itself, and then spread around or spread over into the various sectors of your hard disk. You should also note that a computer virus is a program. Okay, it is a program. It is not like the natural viruses we have. No, it is a program, and these programs are developed by programmers. Programmers, we have discussed programmers as those who develop the softwares for us. So somebody, bad programmer, may decide that no, I want to develop a software that will be in the form of a virus that will cause some sort of trouble for computers and their users. All right. Then some of these viruses may cause harm. Okay, it may destroy something on your computer, but there are other viruses too that do not cause any form of harm to your computer. Rather, they will disturb you. Let's say you want to do this, and then you notice the machine is not working as is expected. Okay, it will slow down the machine. You'll be playing a video, and it will be the movie or the video will be acting in a funny way. Okay, it doesn't necessarily cause harm, but there are of course others too, which are intended to cause harm. That is, cause some sort of distraction. Another definition of a computer virus is, it is a self-duplicating computer software that interferes with a computer's hardware or other software's operations. Okay, I omitted operations, so you can add it. Let's define it again. It is a self-duplicating computer software that interferes with a computer's hardware or software operations. Okay, so the hardware is there, then somebody will just develop a software to interfere. Let's say the memory wants, the CPU wants to copy some data from hard disk into the RAM, then it will notice that it will say RAM is full. Okay, RAM is full or something. Virtual memory is full, and you see it means it can't load them there. Okay, it can't. All right. Sorry for going back. Yeah. So as I said, it is a self-duplicating computer software that interferes with a computer's hardware or other software's operations. I was using the example of the sectors of hard disk, for instance, to as an example. Let us look at a third definition. A computer virus is a potentially damaging computer program that affects or infects your computer negatively by altering the way the computer works without your knowledge or permission. So it has introduced new elements here. But let me go back to the second definition. There was a word there, interferes. When something interferes, it means it disrupts. It disrupts your operations. Okay, let's come back to the third definition. We say it's a potentially damaging program. Okay, so you do not really notice it, but it's dangerous. Some viruses are dangerous, as I said, and what they do is they modify, they change the way you use they change the way your computer works. Okay, and as it is changing it, or as it is causing that damage, you do not know. Viruses come into your machine, you do not know, and they don't come in with your permission, they just enter. Okay, they just enter without your permission or your knowledge or your notice. All right, let us look at another definition of a computer virus. A computer virus is a piece of programming code, usually disguised as something else, that causes harm to your computer. As I have said, it's not all viruses that cause harm, but some do cause harm. So I have explained that it's a programming code or software that maybe it may come as something else on your screen, and then you would think, oh, it's interesting. The moment you touch it, then it starts spreading. Then if it is intended to cause the harm, then it will cause that harm. It can also be defined as programs that copy themselves to attach to other programs and files on computer to cause them to malfunction. Okay, so these programs will copy themselves into your other programs, and then you want to launch, let's say, Microsoft Excel, and then it doesn't load. Okay, it doesn't load at all. You'll be using it, you want to save your document, and it will tell you cannot save. All those are viruses that do cause, it is viruses that are causing the programs to malfunction. Most viruses hide so that they cannot be easily detected. Yeah, most viruses, they hide. They hide from your sight, or from your normal operations on your screen that you can see, or you can easily detect. No, you can't detect them, and they hide from you, and then they do whatever they want to do. There are two types of viruses. These types are benign, or you can say benigns. A benign virus is a type of virus which does not cause any harm to the computer, but only to disturb its user. Okay, so any form of virus which is not intended to destroy something or cause some sort of harm to your computer can be said to be a benign. And then we have the malicious type. The malicious type of viruses are the ones that are intended to cause harm to your computers, and sometimes to, now we have a lot of terrorists in the system, so they can even use it to cause harm to not only the computer itself, but even the person who is using it. Okay, they can do some coding, and then it will blast as a bomb. Okay, all right. Examples of an example of benign is a worm. Right, a worm is a benign. Excuse me. Then examples of malicious viruses are logic bomb, boot sector virus, program file or directory virus, and then Trojan horse. We have stealth virus, we have self-modifying virus. Let me explain each one of these viruses to you. Let's take logic bomb. For logic bomb, it's like this. It will come on your screen, or it may not necessarily come on your screen, but it will be waiting for you to do a particular thing. Okay, so first of all, it will copy itself into your machine, and then it will be hiding, waiting for you to do that particular thing. So when you do that thing, then it will spread on your machine and then start causing the damage. For instance, if the logic bomb has been designed in such a way that if, let's say, you click the start button, it should start operating and causing harm. The moment you click the start button, then it will start misbehaving or causing the problem that it is intended to do on your machine. Then we have boot sector virus. Boot sector virus. We will be talking about booting when we get to Form 2, when we start our practical sessions. Boot sector viruses, there's a part of your hard disk that normally when the computer starts, it will, the CPU will start working from there. Okay, we'll start picking from there, we'll start picking some instructions from that part. Okay, what happens is the virus will go and then infect that sector or that part of the hard disk, so that when you start your computer, you see that your computer will not boot as expected. That kind of virus is what we call as a boot sector virus. Then we have program or file or directory virus. A program virus, they are viruses that are expected to infect the programs you have installed on your computer. So let's say if you've installed Mavis Beacon teaches typing, and it's infected, you notice that when you try to run or launch that program, you notice that it won't work at all. Then file viruses are viruses that affect your files. For instance, let's say you've typed a Microsoft Word file, you have saved it, and then if there's a virus that is a file virus, it will attach to your file, and either it will disturb it, or sometimes it may damage it in a way, and then you can later clear the virus, and then you have your file. But for some file viruses, they completely destroy your virus, that even if you get rid of the virus, there's no way you can recover your file again. Then we have directory viruses. A directory, we normally refer to directories in disk operating systems. We come to operating systems later, but in our case we say folder viruses. Let's say you create a folder. We will explain what a folder is later, but you create a folder, and if the virus is expected to infect the folder, then once it enters your machine, it starts infecting folders on your machine, so you can't really access or use those folders. So that is it for the program, file, and directory viruses. We also have Trojan viruses. For Trojan virus, I don't know if you have heard of Trojan horse. I think it was used in Troy. If you have ever watched Troy before, uh, when they had the attackers had wanted to when the attackers had wanted to uh, enter the town, the Troy city, they carved a horse, and then they they packed themselves into the horse, and then they sealed it. They not, but they locked it, I should say. So the people of Troy saw it as a gift or something, and then they brought in the horse into their town, not knowing that their adversaries or their enemies were inside. So when they went to sleep, their enemies just opened the door to uh, the horse, and then they came out of it, and then killed people, and then destroyed a lot of property. So it works like that. Okay, it works like that. A Trojan horse, it will come as something else. It will come as something desirable. For instance, it may come to you as a screensaver. May come to you as a screensaver. It's very beautiful. You install it on your machine. Then, whilst it is on your machine, it will create an open door. Okay, for the person who designed the virus to find a way into your computer to then cause some damage. For instance, if your system is connected to the internet, okay, if your system is connected to the internet, and the programmer has access, he will just enter your machine, and then if he wants to destroy something, he'll go ahead and destroy it. If he wants to do any other thing, if let's say he wants to steal information or whatever, he'll go ahead and do it. And sometimes it may not be the programmer, but it will just create loopholes for other people to bulge into your computer. Okay, it will just allow people to enter. So that is it. All right. Then we have stealth virus. Stealth virus is like that of a Trojan. For them, they also sneak into your machine in a way you will not find out, but they will be hiding, and bit by bit they will be causing harm. They will be causing harm without your knowledge. Then we have self-modifying viruses. These ones are very, very annoying. Okay, it will have one state. When they enter your computer, it will be in a particular state. Okay, so it will be doing, or it will be causing your machine to misbehave in a certain way, or it may be causing some damage to your machine. Then it will change itself to do another thing. It will begin to cause a different damage. So it has the ability to modify, to change itself. Okay, like a chameleon. It has the ability to change itself. So those are the types of viruses in the world. How do computer viruses infect computers? The first way through which a computer virus can get on your machine is through removable storage media. Through removable storage media. We shall discuss removable storage media later, but I believe you've all seen a pen drive before. You've all seen a CD before. If, let's say, a pen drive is infected by a virus, and then your computer is not infected, then you insert your pen drive into a USB port on your computer. The moment you insert it, the virus will then move or copy itself from the pen drive into your computer, and then it will start operating. That is one way a virus gets to your computer. Then through computer networks and the internet, let's say we have 4 computers, and our computers have been connected in such a way that we can use them to communicate. We can use them to communicate. Now, if let's say a virus has infected one of the computers, and then I try to use my computer to access that computer that has been affected, the virus will copy itself from that computer and then pass through the network channel to affect my machine. Okay, it will then affect my machine. The same way you go on the internet, if there's a file that is on the internet that is affected, or if you try to access a remote computer, that is a network that is connected to the internet, you try to access it. Okay, the moment you attempt it, if that computer has a virus in it, then it will copy itself and then affect your computer. The third means of virus infection is through the installation of virus infected programs. We all love programs. Let's say you want a Microsoft Encarta program and your friend has it. If your friend's computer is infected by the virus, it means that the virus has attached itself to the setup that you are going to copy from your friend to come and install on your machine. So the moment you install that program, the virus will also affect your machine. Sometimes it may not be that your computer, your friend's computer is infected, but probably when they were trying to download the program, virus entered the setup. Okay, or even those who developed the program intentionally attached virus to the setup. Then when you install it on your computer, then it will enter your computer, and then it will also install itself and start causing whatever it has been designed to do. How do we know that a computer is affected by a computer virus? So we are looking at signs of computer virus infection. The first sign is that your computer will start operating slower than it usually does. Okay, so you notice at first your computer was working very fast. You issue a command and it is done. You launch a program and quickly the program loads and then you start doing your work. But you notice that when you try to launch a program, it takes a very long time than the normal. Okay, than the normal. So then it is a sign for you to see that probably your computer has been infected by virus. I'm not saying when your machine slows down all the time, it means there's a virus infection. No, there could be several reasons as well. But one key reason would be that there might be a virus infection. Then you notice that your computer freezes often. It freezes often. You are doing something and then suddenly everything stops. You can't move your mouse. You can't type anything, you can't do anything on the computer. Then it works again, then it freezes again, like that. Okay, so you can't really work as you expect. Of course, a machine freezing, there could be other factors that may be causing the freezing, but one major reason would be that there's a virus infection. Then you also notice that your computer restarts itself uh, so many times. Okay, you'll be working, and then all of a sudden your machine restarts. It goes off and then it comes on its own. Okay, it restarts by itself. And sometimes too, you'll be working, you've not given it any command, and then it will shut down. It will just go off. Okay, it will just go off on its own. All right, so that could be a sign of of virus infection. Of course, if you are using a laptop and your battery runs down, it will definitely shut down. That is not what we are talking about. If, let's say, there's enough power in your machine and then your computer on its own shuts down, then there's a virus infection. A computer too may restart if, let's say, you've installed a program and the program and your computer needs to restart in order for the software to run properly. That one is there, but when you've not done anything like that and your computer restarts several times, then it should tell you that it's likely there's a virus infection. Then it could also happen that your programs may fail to work as it is expected. Okay, so let's say, for instance, I was using the Mavis Beacon program. You try to launch it and it doesn't launch. Okay, it may even launch, but you can't use it. Do you get it? So that is one way of getting a virus infection. I'm sorry, that is one way of seeing that probably your computer has been infected by virus. Then another sign or symptom for you to notice that there's a virus infection is when you try to access your hard disk and beyond hard disk, other storage devices or media like a pen drive. You see that you can't access them. You want to open it and then it will not open, to tell you you can't access it, or something, some strange sound comes out from the machine. Then you see some error message on your screen all the time. When you see this, then it is possible that there's a virus infection. But sometimes too, if your hard disk or your device is in a way damaged, that can happen. I'm not saying that is the only reason, but it may happen. It may happen that when you notice these things, it could be that they are caused by computer viruses. And if, let's say, you open a folder and you try to access a file, you try to open another folder, and when you try it, you notice that a new folder will open on your screen. When it happens that way, it should tell you that probably there's a virus that has infected your machine. And then some of the files on your machine, you try to open them or you try to access them, you can't access them. Okay, then you see that it changes into some strange icon. You have, let's say, you have a movie file and you want to open it, you can't open it. You have an Excel file, you want to open it, it can't open. You get it? So those are the signs for you to notice. And then sometimes too, some of your very important files might delete. Okay, you did not delete it, no person deleted it, but on its own you see that your some of your files are getting deleted. Your files are getting deleted. When it happens that way, there's a likelihood that there's a virus infection. Then the extensions of files may change to something else. Uh, File extensions, well, file extensions is normally discussed in the elective subject. But let's say your file is MP3 format, okay? So you try to play it, and something will come like unknown file extension. So maybe it will change to like exe instead of MP3. It will change to exe file. So the file extensions may change in a way. For those who will be doing elective, you will learn more about file extensions. Then you also notice that your hard disk space or your other storage media space are filled. You are using your machine. You know that you have at least some space on your machine, free space. We'll talk about storage space later. But let's say you have more, you know that you have more space on your machine, but every time you go, it seems like it is being filled up. It is being filled up. Meanwhile, you are not putting any data or information into those storage spaces, but you recognize it is always filling. You try to put something else there, and it tells you your hard disk is full or something. But you go and then you check, and you don't notice any file or files that are so many that it should cause your hard disk space to fill up. Then there's a likelihood that your machine has been infected. So those are the signs for you to know, or for you to identify or guess that probably your machine is infected by a computer virus. What are some of the damages that computer viruses cause to computers? The first damage is that it would erase files. So you have your most important files there, and then your files are suddenly deleted. You can't get them back in any way. That is a damage. Let's say, for instance, your ICT teacher or another subject master gives you an assignment, and then he tells you to type it. Let's say it's about 3 pages. You've done the assignment, you have typed, and then you have saved it, and then he tells you to submit it in 2 weeks' time. Then you go there, and then you leave your virus on your machine. Sorry, you leave your document file on your machine, and later you try to come and then find it, and it's nowhere to be found. Don't you see? It's very painful. Let's say the time has come for you to submit, and you didn't write it, you just typed it right away. It's just very, very painful. In the university, for instance, people lose their project work. Project work normally take a lot of time. So if your project work is erased, if you're not careful, you go mad. Especially when you are very close to ending your program in the university or in the polytechnic or in the training college. Another damage is that they can corrupt files. When something is corrupted, it means that they become inaccessible, or they do not appear as they should be. Okay, so they corrupt your files. Viruses can also cause memory conflict in the computer. So let's say your CPU, we'll be explaining those ones later, but your CPU will try to access a particular space in memory, and then it will tell the CPU, no, you can't access this. Probably there are 2 processes going on, and then those 2 processes have to access something on the memory, but then they go and crash. Meanwhile, it's not supposed to happen that way. Okay, so it will cause some sort of memory conflict within the computer. Sometimes too, viruses can destroy your hard disk. It can spoil your hard disk. Mm, Hard disks are very expensive, and even beyond they being expensive, you can imagine if you have all your important files and documents on your machine, and then suddenly it just destroys, it crashes. You can't get your data back. If you are not careful, you go mad. But it does happen. I'm not saying that is the only reason why hard disk crashes. It could be due to other reasons as well. But sometimes too, they may be caused by viruses. Then we have some of the viruses being set as bombs to destroy files. Some of them, they may destroy some hardware components. And as I said earlier, some people are designing viruses that can even kill human beings or blast to destroy an entire building for political reasons or whatever reasons. How do we prevent computer viruses from infecting our machine? How do we prevent them? One, the first way to prevent a computer virus is for you to always make sure that always keep a backup of your important files. Let us say you have your project work. Your teacher has given you assignment and you have typed it as a project and you know it is very important to you. You should copy that project work when you finish and then keep it somewhere. Let's say you can even burn it onto a CD and hide it somewhere. Apart from your such a file, let's say you have very, very, very important files on your machine. Those very, very important files, make sure that you copy them and keep the ones you've copied somewhere else. Okay, so that in case viruses infect your computer and then destroy the ones on your computer, you can easily go back and then copy the one that you kept somewhere after you have gotten rid of the viruses from your machine. Then you go and copy those ones you have saved somewhere. You copy them back onto your computer. Then you have your files again. That is one way to prevent or to reduce the harm that virus can cause to you or your machine. Then another way to prevent viruses from coming to your machine is you need to be careful as to the people, not people per se, but the pen drives you take and then you allow to be connected to your machines. You are not a computer yourself, or for you to note that there's a virus on this or there's no virus on that. So if somebody goes anywhere and then picks a pen drive and then brings it to you, then you allow the person to slot it in. You don't know. Probably that virus may contain, that pen drive may contain a virus. Probably he might have gone to an internet cafe somewhere, and for those machines, a lot of people connect their pen drives, so it's likely that there may be viruses. Then if, let's say, the virus gets onto the drive, you come and insert it, it affects your machine. So please, we are advising that when you are taking pen drives from people, you need to be a bit cautious. You need to be a bit cautious because the damages that may be caused may be irreparable. Then we are also advising that you do not use storage mediums you do not know their source. In the first situation, we were talking about sharing. Let's say you give your pen drive to a friend, you go and copy things from the internet cafe, he brings it. No, you are sharing your removable pen drive. Let's say you are taking a pen drive from somebody and then you insert it. No, that is what we are talking about. Another way is, let's say you go and then you go and pick a pen drive somewhere, or let's say a CD somewhere, then you come and slot it into your machine. You don't know its source. You don't know where it's coming from. Somebody, you go and see a CD somewhere. You go out there and then you buy a CD, and you know some of these CDs, because of piracy, they burn them on their machines, on their laptops, and then you come and sell in town. Then you go and buy, you come and slot it in. Sometimes some of them contain viruses, so you need to be cautious. You don't need to do that. Another way to prevent, and if let's say virus gets your machine, one way to get rid of it is for you to install an antivirus program. An antivirus program is also a software, and an antivirus program's function is mainly to, first of all, protect your machine from it getting infected by a virus. So it will be like a bodyguard or something for your machine. So the moment there's a storage medium that is inserted, it will first of all check to see that if there's a virus, then quickly to delete those viruses, or get rid of them, or arrest them and keep them somewhere so that they don't have any effect on your machine. And then apart from that, if let's say a virus has already infected your machine, the antivirus program will scan through. It will go through your computer, the various storage mediums, the various storage spaces, and then scan through. It will be checking all around, and then it will identify all those viruses and then arrest them and then destroy them. If it doesn't destroy them, then it will keep them somewhere else. Then we also advise that you should not only install antivirus programs, but you should also regularly update it. When you are updating an antivirus program, it means that you are copying certain files that will make the antivirus program stronger. You install those files to strengthen the antivirus program. Every new time, viruses are being developed. So let's say this antivirus was developed today, and then for viruses that were created in this day, then you go and buy, you install. So it will get rid of all viruses. Then in about 2 weeks time, people will develop new viruses that the developers of the antivirus did not know. So they didn't capture such viruses in their antiviruses. Alright. So after those viruses are created, later on, the developers of the antivirus will now know, oh, new viruses are being developed. How do we prevent it from getting to people's machines? Then they will bring you the updates, okay, or the upgrades. Sometimes it's weekly, sometimes it's daily, sometimes they do it 3 or 4 days for you. So you go and then you download or you copy that update, and then you come and update your antivirus so that your antivirus will be current to detect the new viruses that people have developed. That is why we say always you need to regularly update your antivirus. Then we are also saying that regularly scan your computer. At least when you are scanning, you ask the antivirus to go through your machine to see if there are virus infections. If there are virus infections, and then if there are virus infections, it will get rid of them. So it will go through your machine. So at least from time to time, you should do that. Then if let's say you get a storage medium like a pen drive or a CD from somewhere, before you open it, you need to also scan it. You need to allow the antivirus to check through the pen drive to see that there's no virus on them. All right. Another way for you to prevent viruses from coming to your machine is that you don't need to always copy things from other people's PCs if you do not, or if you are not certain that those machines are infected by virus. Some of us, especially the boys, you go around, oh, you see something on your friend's machine, oh, let me have it. So you go and copy. The moment you insert your pen drive and you copy, if that machine is infected, you also get virus. Then you are also advised not to download things from unreliable sources from the internet. Some of us we go to the net and then we download anything, especially for softwares. We don't encourage you to be downloading softwares you do not know anything about. Some of them contain viruses, and one way to safeguard yourself is to stop it. If you need a software, go to a proper service technician for him to install the software for you, or for, let's say, an IT man. He will be able to know that, oh, this program is safe, or he will know which websites are safe for you to download certain programs from. Sorry. Then after you have downloaded files onto your machine from the internet or from the network into your machine, we are advising that you scan those files before you use them. So we come to this lesson's end. In this lesson, we have learned what viruses are. We've also learned their types. We have also discussed the symptoms for you to know whether your computer has been infected or not. And we have also discussed some of the damages that some of these viruses may bring or may cause. We also discussed means by which we can prevent computer viruses from infecting your machine. And of course, we also looked at how you can remove them, or you can get rid of them if in case your machine is infected. Good day. We shall meet again in the next lesson.